Alright, kids. Where was I? I was complaining about the cost of buying a brand new car to get to a minimum wage job. Because, like, the wife was saying, like, how much easier life is if you have a new car to get to work in. And I'm like, she's like, why does everything have to be? Because we're not working and trying to our full potential. So of course everything is going to be a lot harder. It's hard to be poor, okay? It's easier to be a little bit better off. This poverty situation. Winter is coming and I'm putting straight water in here. The reason for that is just a couple of years ago I got a brand new radiator and I don't know where the leak is at in this thing, but I noticed in the past few months it's starting to leak somewhere. It could be the hose, could be the radiator itself. I know it's not this hose yet, but just from chafing alone, there's signs of wear and tear. Car parts are expensive. Breakdowns are even more expensive. But yeah, car parts are expensive. So jack is all aluminum. Those things are great when they work, but that thing is probably about just a little more than a year old from Harbor Freight. And it just stopped. It just quit. All of a sudden one day it just pretty much without warning said, nope, I'm done. They're lightweight, they're aluminum, they're nice. They're great, but whatever. It all breaks. And that's a little soft there. So yeah, just like in the last video, I'm gonna load up with some scrap goodies that are not mine. Well, that was a clumsy hand. I pushed it in, and I don't know. I get tired of fixing stuff constantly over and over. Whether the repair is a high quality repair or just something to get by, which I'm good for. I'm good for doing that. That's kind of the purpose of this tie strap to begin with, is the tailgate it's completely annihilated. It's bent out of shape. It doesn't lock on its own. And even if I had to do one, I would still use this, because if the load shifts, I don't need it out on the street. Yeah, this drives me crazy. This thing is gonna probably fall off. This is something that definitely needs to be looked after. But for some reason, unlike this one, This is the second one that I've put on here. And for some reason when I'm throwing off the scrap, maybe because I'm right-handed or whatever, the scrap gets caught just on that little lip. I've put tape on there, etc. before, and it manages to get past it. Yeah, lights have to be working. With me, that's a big deal. Even if the light fixture is broken, I don't care. Just like the bulb itself has to be functional. So, like every day before I go anywhere, I do a pre-trip kind of. Check out the vehicle. All right. This ignition lock has never been correctly repaired. I don't have the hand strings. That's something that's never been fixed either. The fact that it runs really rough when you first start it up. Because I've fixed it before. I've had somebody else repair it a couple of times, and it always ends up running like this again. So, with everything in life, I choose to live with it broken. Because you could spend, here, go to any scrapyard, any junkyard, and you go and look at their equipment, and yes, it does work, but it's always broken. All of their forklifts, everyone, I go to every scrapyard that I go to, every one of their forklifts, all of the forklifts need tires, they have hydraulic leaks, I don't know, different things about them are all, wear and tear. It's a bottom dollar business. Okay, you gotta drive this 2-footed. This would be perfect. No, somebody try and carjack this, it would just die out on them. That's another thing I like about cars that are really, really, really effed up is you're probably not going to get carjacked. It's just going to die out on them. Or, if they get in and 2 seconds later they realize how crappy it runs, they'll just run it into another car. Or into a pole or something like that. Free. Everything should be free, right? That's a mentality. It'll run like this for varying amounts of time. At first when you go and start it up, or it may not at all. There are sometimes when I just stick the key in, fire it up, and it's running how it's supposed to right away. You can't let it just idle, because it will never run smoothly. It'll just run like this. And the service engine soon, light comes on. It does not have a catalytic converter. And if you rev it obviously not, full throttle. Because, it'll throw a rod for sure. But if you run it like at about 2,500 RPM, I don't have a tachometer, but just by ear I can tell I'm running it around 2,200. Running at about 2,500, close to 3,000. And it'll run like this for a little while, and then all of a sudden, the engine will change pitch a little bit, and it'll be running fine. King, you waste a lot of gas doing that. Yeah, I know, but the problem is throwing parts at it, okay? You should check engine light. I've done that on this computer. It's an OBD1 computer, and the only code it shows is for the O2 sensor sometimes, and that's because there's no catalytic converter. Like right now, it's not even throwing the code. It hasn't changed pitch. There you go, it just did. See? Now it's running smooth. That is the damnedest thing. I've checked the electronic choke, and I don't know. That seems to work, kind of, I guess. The throttle position sensor, obviously that works, because otherwise, that's not like a intermittent problem. Those things, either they work or they don't. So, I think I'm going to have to take it to have a guy that I have, like, fix car problems that I can't figure out on my own, which I guess I could figure them out on my own, but the loss of productivity in doing so is more expensive than having him do the work for me, if that makes sense. So what do you all think about the property? See you in the next video. I bet you everybody that watching my channel, what they want me to do most is clean my cars. Tell me in the comment section. What's the thing you want me to do the most?